All right, we are live on the Coach Eli Television Network, YouTube, Facebook, and the Live. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here on this wonderful, amazing Friday night. It is Friday, July 30th, 2021, the day that this live stream is happening. But as always, most of these live streams, including this one, have great replay value. So if you're watching on the replay, you're going to want to stick around because I'm going to be sharing some great information tonight regarding superficial women. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't superficial men out there. There are. There are both superficial men and women in this crazy modern world we all live in. But I'm going to share tonight primarily why most women are single nowadays because of them being way too superficial. So stick around for that. But before we get to all that, let me just make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out. And it absolutely has. Let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure it's rolling smoothly. And it absolutely is. The Queen is here. You're good. Hey, Queen, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Glad you could join me here on this beautiful Friday evening. I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. We're also simulcasting live on Facebook. And the back end of Facebook looks great. And the back end of the Live looks great as well. But let me check out the front end. Facebook real quick. Great as well, but let me check out the front end. Front end of Facebook looks great. And last but not least, excuse me, D-Live. D-Live, are you live? Looks great. Yeah. And last but not least, excuse me, yeah. D-Live. D-Live, are you live? Yes, D-Live, you are live. It's all good. All right, and before we get to it, as always, I'm being sponsored by an amazing longtime friend by the name of Troy Brewer. He's an incredible entrepreneur, and he has been running an incredible marketing company for over 15 years. I've known him for 10 of those years. And he's the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network, and he is a branding and marketing genius. So if you need help with your branding and marketing, whether it's online or offline, if you're an entrepreneur, a YouTuber, and you're trying to get your business going and you need some word of mouth digitally, because that's the way things are nowadays, Troy is the man. And he has some of the most reasonable prices in the industry, and you get the most bang for your buck, even with his low-end packages. Of course, he has higher-end packages as well, but even with his entry-level packages, this guy can help put you on the map and help you, on your way to success. So if you'd like more information about Troy, go below the description, about a third of the way down the YouTube side of things. Click on the top link, discovercommunitynetwork.com. On Facebook, go to the top at the search bar and type in discovercommunitynetwork.com. If you're on D-Live and still figuring out how to get some auto postings to happen in the chat there, just do a Google search for Discover space Community space Network, and you will find it practically at the top of the search results. And then from there, you can figure out how to connect with Troy by phone or by email. Or if you'd like me to personally introduce you to Troy, just go in the description section of YouTube and Facebook and find my email, Coach Eli at coacheli@eliasmelas.com. That's Coach Eli at coacheli@eliasmelas.com. Email me and I'll do a personal intro and I'll help you folks connect. Once again, Troy, thank you very much to you and everyone at the Discover Community Network for your continued sponsorship and patronage of my brand. Lots of love from Coach Eli and the Coach Eli clan. All right. All right. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm going to be on probably for an hour and a half to 2 hours tonight. That's how long I figure it'll take to get through this material. And I'm the type of person that primarily likes to share my personal experiences regarding many of my topics, especially for my live streams. When I deal with certain things that I know many other men and women are dealing with, I like to share my experiences so that way you folks can learn how to better identify what's happening in these situations and act accordingly, right? And do the right thing, such as I did. The topic of this stream is why superficial women remain single, a personal experience, and more. One more time, why superficial women remain single, a personal experience, and more. So I'm not going to share my personal experience till the second half of the show. I have some other material regarding the topic to go over during the first part. But you're going to want to stick around for the second part of the show because I'm going to be sharing a story regarding a woman I connected with yesterday through Match.com. And we started talking on the app for a little bit, on the website of the app. And I ended up getting her number, and we were texting a little bit last night, and we were texting throughout the day today, and we were going to have a phone call tonight. But something happened, and that phone call isn't going to happen. And I'm going to share with you what happened. You're probably going to be quite shocked. Some of you may be shocked. Some of you may be, that's just the way it is nowadays, right? But I'm going to share with you what happened because this woman did show a high level of interest for me, right? But she was trying to do something in a sneaky way. She was trying to find something out in a sneaky way without having herself come off in a certain way that many women come off nowadays because of the way things are. Okay? Obviously, the topic is why superficial women remain single. So this obviously has to do with this woman being superficial, right? Let's not hide that, right? But like I've said in the past, women have very, very high and unreasonable expectations for men nowadays. Most women out there nowadays, and I'm talking all women, right? We're not just talking about the women that are 8s, 9s, and 10s on the attraction scale, 10 being the highest, right? We're talking about women that are 2s and 3s and 5s. They want the top 10 or 20% of men, right? And that just isn't possible. Because what these women want is they want a man that's 6 feet or taller. They want a man that makes six figures, a six-figure income or greater. They want a man with a six-pack, and they want a man that also is packing 6 inches or more below the belt, right? Queen says, let me guess, she played you. No, Queen. No, she didn't. That's all I'm going to say for right now because I want to keep you folks thinking and then share the story during the second half. It's a good one. It's a good one. I'm going to read you the text conversation. Now, I don't have the Match.com conversation. I'll explain more when I get to, that part of the show. But like I said, and I've said this before many times, women have those expectations with the 6s. 6 feet or taller, 6-figure income, a 6-pack, abs, and 6 inches or greater below the belt. And around 10% or even less than 10% of men on the planet qualify regarding all those aspects, right? Now, those men, they know that they have what these women want. So guess what? Guess what happens when these women come across these men? These women, when they come across these men that qualify with all their unreasonable expectations and requirements, right? These guys play these women. These guys use women for sex or, they do whatever they want with them. It's like these women, when they come across the guys they want with these unreasonable expectations, let's say the few guys that qualify, they come across them, these women are like sick puppy dogs to these guys in the same ways that beta males are sick puppy dogs to all women, right? But what happens if you're not one of these top 10 or 20% guys that is 6 feet or taller, okay, doesn't make a six-figure income, doesn't have a six-pack, doesn't have 6 inches or more below the belt, but you come close to all those aspects and, you know, you're cute, you're reasonably attractive, you're attractive enough to get her attention, right? What's going to happen in those situations, right? If the woman sees you or perceives you to be, let's say, a 6 or a 7 or an 8 on the attraction scale compared to what she actually wants, an 8, 9, or 10 with all the 6s like I've been mentioning, right? Right? She's gonna shit test you, right? And she's gonna try to find out every little thing about you, including if you're catfishing her or if you look the same as you do in your pictures, etc., right? But they try to make it come off like they want to get to know you for who you are. The truth of the matter is, these women nowadays, before anything else matters, before they even find out if you're a good guy, if you have, you know, a decent, if you make a decent living, making good money, before they find out if you have a great personality or you're emotionally stable or whatever, the only thing they care about is if they're 100% sexually attracted to you. That's it. That's what most women nowadays care about over anything else. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters until they figure out if they're 100% sexually attracted to you. Why? Because they have so many options, right? They want to first find the guy they're most physically attracted to, and then they hope that that guy fills in everywhere else, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, right? Instead of getting to know the guy for the right reasons, right? Instead of giving an average everyday guy, which there are way more guys like that than the 6 guys or the 6s in the guys I was talking about earlier. 6-figure income, 6 feet or taller, 6 inches or greater below the belt, and 6-pack abs. There are far fewer of those guys, but there are a lot of great guys that are average, decent-looking guys that come close to qualifying with all those stats, and we're good dudes, and we would be able to provide for them mentally, emotionally, spiritually, etc., and be a good lover too. But because we're only a 5, 6, or 7, or 8 on the attraction scale of 1 to 10 of these women, okay, they put us through the ringer, right? They really test us, right? And then they're talking to multiple people at the same time as well, even if they say they're not, right? Now, as I always say during shows like these, I love women. I don't hate women. I'm not here to bash women. I'm here to state the facts. I'm here to let women and men, or make women and men both aware what's really happening and why you're not getting the results you're getting. Right? That's why I'm doing this. I'm not here to attack anybody, right? I wish things were different, right? Oh, Holly, hopeful and blessed. Hello, Eli and everyone. Hello, Holly. How are you doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you here. Let me make sure that Facebook is clear and D Live is clear. Okay. So anyway, let me do this. Let me go ahead and get to. I have 3 Reddit postings I'm going to go over tonight that they're all really good regarding this topic. Then I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to come back and share at least that one story, and possibly even a second one, to show you how a real good woman handles things. I've been talking to a couple of women, and one of them is a superficial one I'm going to be sharing the story with, and another one is the complete opposite. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to work out or not based on some things she said, but with this other one that's not superficial or as superficial, let's say, there's a much better chance. There's a chance, but you never know. And there's a reason for it, because she was so honest with me about how she's handling, how she's managing, her dating prospects. Well, I'll share more about that towards, in the second part of the show, or during the second part of the show. Hello, Queen, says Holly, hopeful and blessed. All right. So let's go ahead and switch over to the browser source and get right to it. All right. This is from the subreddit Tinder. Whoa. Yeah. One of the best places to meet the woman of your dreams, to share the rest of your life with, is on swipe left, swipe right Tinder. Superficial women that are dumpster fires. Why do they exist? I prefer a partner that's taller than me. Imagine the hate men would get if they post even one of the laundry list items women have for men. Yeah, women are emotional beings. That's why they contradict themselves. They're hypocrites. That's just the way they were made to be. It's like a normal biological thing. Now, some are better at it than others, meaning that some are less hypocritical and some are more in tune with themselves, but most women are just like this. They want things their way, and if men do similar things like that, for example, women have a laundry list of what they want in a man nowadays, and if you don't qualify, it's tough luck, but if you have that same laundry list on women, they get pissed off, right? How fair is that, right? I don't understand the sense of entitlement women have for men they want and claim as their property. Well, that has a lot to do with feminism, sir. And nothing wrong with feminism from an equal rights standpoint. Like I've always said, it's one thing for women to have equal rights, the right to, the right to work, the right to bear arms, the right to vote, equal pay for equal work, right? All that stuff is great. But what feminism has done for women, it's changed their attitudes. It's changed their demeanor from behaving more in their natural essence of being feminine to acting more masculine and dominant, right? So they're not behaving in the biological ways they were made to be. So women are different nowadays, right? And they've been empowered by the media, the government, etc., right? And other women's empowerment groups to basically have the attitude of, ladies, we don't need a man for anything, right? Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. So when ladies are growing up hearing that on social media nowadays, because everyone has an iPhone or an Android or a tablet or a laptop or desktop, social media, mainstream media, etc., when the government is more so supporting women than men and empowering women and saying, ladies, go to college first and get a degree and be more career focused than marriage focused or relationship focused, when they're being indoctrinated in that culture, that's what makes them this way. That's why they behave this way. How do people not mature past that? Well, you see, these women think they are being mature, right? They think they are being mature because that's the way they're being raised by their family and, like I said, the media and social media and the government and women's empowerment groups. And the fact that they've been liberated and the fact that they're working jobs that require them to exude more masculine energy than feminine energy, they think that they're being mature. And that's where all the confusion happens. When you say, or when you ask, how do people not mature past that? It's it's a difficult thing to deal with, because on one hand, you want a feminine woman like women used to always be, and these women have been raised to be a way that they don't know any different, right? They don't know what it's like to be a woman of the 50s and before that time. They just know how to be the way they were raised, by their family and the culture they grew up in, the modern culture they grew up in. So let's see what the comments say. Are you joking? Do you think men don't? This is a woman saying that, of course. Look, it's a woman there. You see, ma'am, men are superficial too, but we're not nearly as superficial as women. I'll tell you why. Because you women have all the options because of the thirsty beta males. Beta-mons, 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 beta-mons. The beta-mons that put you on a pedestal, right? Kiss your butt, give you everything you want without even earning it. Empower you ladies to have endless options, right? So you can have 100 guys talking with you at once, right? And you can eliminate a guy if he breathes wrong. You can eliminate a guy if he had traffic on the freeway on the way home and got home a minute late and called you a minute later than your scheduled phone call, right? Okay, the entitlement that women have nowadays, and the reason why they can be so superficial, is because of the thirsty beta males. If the beta males learned how to deal with the modern day woman and not feed into this stuff, women wouldn't have those options. Then things would start getting back to normal again. But it's going to be quite a while before all the thirsty betas realize that it's probably not going to happen in my lifetime. This, I agree, it's not specific to any gender. Shitty people will be shitty people. Well, I agree with that, but I more so believe it's what I said a second ago. I'm not going to repeat myself. But yes, both men and women can be superficial, but women nowadays can naturally be superficial, can automatically be superficial because they have endless options. It depends on their level of maturity. Well, that does matter, right? But even if a woman's very mature, she still has endless options. I've seen really good women that used to be different in the way that they would handle their dating prospects change because of the way this culture has changed, right? So it doesn't even matter about how mature they are. What matters is that they have endless options, all of them, even the unattractive ones, because of the thirsty beta males. Yes, same with women. That's that woman saying that again. Why do you exist? You literally have posts titled, "I can tell the difference between dark Asians and African people, and women wouldn't, run a business of selling themselves if men had more confidence." Laughing my ass off. What WTF, dude? That was a ridiculous comment there. That I'm not even going to respond to that. What does it have to do with this? I'm like, hey, I said the same thing. Shows that you're stupid, LOL. No, it shows you generalize. I think it's more than that. I think that's a woman that's angry and bitter. Or, yeah, it is a woman because she said WTF, dude. That's one of those woke women, right? Or let's call them an SJW. I'll give you a clue. This woman I talked to, I chalked her up as an SJW, social justice warrior. If you don't know what a social justice warrior is, just Google search it. If you haven't heard what it is, especially the guy, you're going to want to know. Me too, this dude. If I had $1 for every time I opened Reddit and saw someone asking, how can I get a young, hot, big titty titty Asian, etc. girlfriend, I'd be a rich man. The thirsty beta males, man, going public and saying, how do I get the Asian chick with the big boobies? People like that are just immature. They're pathetic, to be honest with you. They're beta males. They're thirsty men. That's what's happening. Holly, Eli said that a woman don't need a man for anything. That's why I said it's the truth. Well, Queen, here's the thing. That is true. You still need us and our sperm to make kids if you want kids. But you can go to a sperm bank and get sperm without even seeing a man. But a man still has to go and, put his sperm in a cup, right? And that's pretty, Queen. I know you're just playing, and I love you like a sister, right? But that's the stuff that most decent guys like myself don't like when women say, we don't need a man for anything, right? Because I wouldn't give a woman like that the time of day to go on a date or potentially get in a relationship with. I don't want a woman with that attitude like that at all. Do you want an F toy or a human being? Because human beings are not F toys. I'm trying to minimize my profanity here. You grow and learn from human beings. F toys are sperm dumps. Let's just call it that. Let's use the proper word there. You can read it on the screen if you want. You marginally care about because of the need to get off. Everyone has needs. Everyone wants to be intimate and have sex. I get that, right? And if people just want to go out there and, date casually and do all that, at least be honest about it, right? Don't try to manipulate a woman and lead her to believe you want a relationship just to get in her pants a couple of times and then you leave her. And if you're a woman, don't do the same thing to a guy. There are women out there that are in a transition period that don't want a one-night stand, but they want like a short-term fix, right? Like, I've encountered women like that where, they want a short-term fix and then they don't let the guy know about that, right? They'll get in the relationship with you and it'll be like you're dating them for like 2 or 3 months and they'll be intimate with you and they'll have fun with you, but all of a sudden they'll just ghost you out of the blue, right? Yeah, it's just amazing what happens nowadays in the dating world. Like, women won't even break up with you anymore. They'll just ghost you and never talk with you again. They'll block you on their phone, social media, and no warning, no nothing. It's just one day they're like, okay, I don't want any more of this. Back in the days, you would break up with someone, you would be mature about it, you would be nice about it. Nowadays, it's a dismissive culture. It's pretty messed up. It's sad because I didn't grow up around the way things are nowadays. I didn't grow up being around these types of people. It's just sad. People treat other human beings like toys, and it's totally wrong. In other words, that's what I was just saying there. But just don't think it's only women. That's all. No, it is men too. See, here's the thing. What women and men don't realize, especially women, the reason why it's more apparent and women do it more is because women have more options due to 97% of all men being beta males, giving you ladies what you want the moment you want it. So you ladies have endless options, right? So you can have your way with men. You can do whatever you want with these guys. These guys will literally say, what do you want and how much is it going to cost you, right? That's what's happening. All I'm saying is that it's ironic to include a list of what you want in an F toy for a serious partner. Right, exactly. Yes, correct. Just know men and women both do it. Is there a way to weed out the narcissist? Yeah, you have a conversation with them one time on the phone. You ask them a few questions and see how open they are to asking questions. Have a conversation. Don't just meet up with somebody, without talking with them up an app. A lot of women will say, meet me here. I don't talk to people on the phone. Well, then I'm not going to meet you. I want to get to know who you are. I want to hear your voice. I want to see if you can carry a conversation. I want to see if you're willing to take time out of your busy day from the 100 other guys that are swiping right on you to talk with me and get to know me. I test women. A woman really wants my time. She's going to have to earn it. And I want to earn hers too. It's a two-way street. Not really, just like there's no way to weed out people who can't drive when I commute every morning. It's life. Some people just suck. Well, you just have to do the best you can with what you've got, right? You got to put yourself out there. You got to take chances. And while taking those chances, you might come across some decent people, but if you learn how to identify their intentions sooner, you're not going to invest as much time in those people, but you still have to take chances. Unless you want to completely withdraw and then be lonely and miserable. Sampling bias, huh? Okay. Let's go to the next one here. See where we're at. We are at 30 minutes. Okay. This is from the subreddit Unpopular Opinion. Stop trying to claim that select examples from some vain, superficial women reflects an entire gender. Well, it doesn't, but it's more so primarily apparent with women because of the thirsty beta males giving you unlimited options. That's what it all boils down to. I believe this is a woman writing this. Everyone who's been the most caring and supportive towards me in my life has been female gendered. My mom, grandma, female friends, girlfriends, therapists. I believe this is a woman. In this, what's this IK? This is one case of anecdotal evidence, so it means nothing ultimately, but there are so many out there like me with similar experience and so many great women out there. Okay, she's a woman. You're just doing a disservice to yourself when you buy into this ideology that you see all time on here, that women are all one way. No one's saying women are all one way, but in one way you are the same. You're a product of feminism. You are women that have been empowered, that now have equal rights, where in the past you didn't have those equal rights and you were dependent on a man for survival. Now you're independent women. You're all independent, or you have the option to be and the opportunity to be, right? So not every woman has the same personality, etc., and other aspects, right? But this all boils down to the fact that you are now all independent women. And until society changed that and women fought for equal rights, it used to not be that way for centuries. So they are all hardwired to act like this and be attracted to this, and deep down they are all like this. Well, all you women want the hottest guy, the tallest guy, the guy with the biggest package, the guy that makes the most money, and the guy that has the best body, six-pack abs. If that wasn't the case, why am I seeing the same women on Match.com single year after year after year? As they age and get into their 40s and 50s, and they're still attractive, sexy, good-looking women with great jobs. Why are you ladies single? Why? Because you're giving the wrong man a chance. These men are using you for sex because they're the physical type you want, and the guys that are just a little less attractive, average-looking, that'll give you everything you want, you shit test and eliminate, right? Or never even give them a chance, right? That's what it is. That's the truth of the matter. I don't even want to repeat some of the shit people are saying because it's such BS. It's not BS, ma'am. I really wish it was BS because it sounds like you're a caring person, as am I, on the male side of things. But ma'am, this is not BS. I'm a good dude that wants something real, and it's been a pain in the ass this time around to get it. I've been single for 2.5 years, and it hasn't been easy finding somebody. It's even hard to get a date nowadays. Now, I could probably have gone on more dates if I wanted to, but they probably wouldn't have worked out because I pre-qualify women. I eliminate women before even setting up dates when I meet them online. Like the one I eliminated earlier today, which I'll be talking about during the second half of the show. But it's not BS, ma'am. It's not. And then also people will use specific cases or a small minority of vain, superficial women and say, see, this is proof, this confirms my biases, or they will basically make up double standards that don't even exist as any kind of factor in the real world outside of Reddit or Twitter. Well, I think people are the same on social media as they are in real life. Okay? like a very famous entrepreneur that's on YouTube and many other platforms, Gary Vaynerchuk, known as Gary V, has said time and time again. When I first heard him say this, I was like, dude, this is spot on. Social media hasn't changed us. It's exposed us. One more time. Social media hasn't changed us. It's exposed us. Right? You see, man, you're coming out here and you're sharing your thoughts in the forum. If it wasn't for this forum, no one would know about your existence or your opinions or thoughts. And look at me now. I'm reading this live on the air on my YouTube channel and simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. Not all women are the same, just like not all men are the same. That is true to a certain extent. But when it comes to feminism, all women are a product of the same empowerment movement. That's what we're talking about. And it's not about, again, it's not about the fact that women have equal rights. That's great. I don't think a man on the planet is complaining about women having equal rights. Men are complaining and saying, what's happened to our women that are now trying to behave more like men than women? They're behaving with more masculine energy than feminine energy. And they're very superficial. And they eliminate perfectly decent looking, average decent looking guys that would be a great fit. But because now women have so many more options due to the thirsty beta males, women just don't give these guys a chance. They'll talk with us, right? And they'll quickly eliminate us. Or if someone they perceive to be better than us comes along, they'll ghost us. That's what's happening. That's the truth of the matter. Give me a second here. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. All right. I'm sure every male on here hates it when women say that all men are like XYZ. No, we don't hate it. We just ignore women like that because we know why you're behaving that way. You're behaving that way because of everything I've just said so far on the show, etc. So why do you do the same to women? We don't. At least men like me, I don't waste time with women that are full of drama. I don't waste time with superficial women or women that are full of drama, right? If a woman has unreasonable expectations, like I figured out with this woman I'll be talking about during the second part of the show, and if a woman has unreasonable expectations and she's very superficial, right? That's a big turnoff to me, right? That's what it's all about. Everyone is just people. People are different. Some are the similar. Many are unique. You can't paint anyone, man or woman, as being the same and thinking the same way. No one's saying that. We're not talking about personality traits. We're talking about, in the dating world, what women and men are attracted to. Okay? We're talking about attraction here. We're talking about what brings people together and what do women really want from a man? Right? What do they say they want and what do they respond to? Those are two totally different things, right? And again, women are being unreasonable with their expectations nowadays. Even women that are out of shape, no disrespect, overweight, out of shape, women that are an attraction level of 2, 3, or 4 on the attraction scale of 1 to 10, they want the top 10% men too. Like honestly, it's not even easy getting a date with a woman that you typically would not be attracted to or is not your typical type physically. Maybe she's a little bit more plump and, out of shape, right? Even those women nowadays are behaving the same way. That's when you know there's an issue, right? Because back in those days, like guys like me, I can get those girls all day, every day if I want to. Now, all of them, including the women that are less attractive, want the top 10% guys. Why? Because they're getting a lot of attention from thirsty beta males. They're getting so much validation on social media and dating apps that it's just, no one stands out anymore. Like no one just pops up out of the blue and stands out and just makes them feel connected. Now it's like they have so much attention Like they're numb to it. They're immune to it. That's the issue. How can you even live while alienating yourself from literally half of the population? Well, that's some guys, like the MGTOW men going their own way community. They like to, a lot of those guys like to withdraw because they say the stove is too hot. But you have to also understand a lot of those guys that have withdrawn are what we call incels, involuntary celibates. They have a lack of self-respect and self-esteem. And they withdraw because they can't get a woman, but they try to come off like they can and just don't want one. The truth of the matter is there's not a straight man on this planet that wouldn't want to be with a good, sexy woman if she was going to be good to him and allow her, and she allows him to be good to her too. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Let's see what's happening in the comments section. Most dudes on Reddit hate women. Not much you can do about it, unfortunately. I wouldn't go as far and say that most dudes on Reddit hate women. Okay? I would say most guys don't like how most women behave nowadays in artificial ways with unreasonable expectations based on everything I've talked about on this show so far. I wouldn't say most dudes, just on certain subreddits like this one. It is sad to see, though. I think you folks are misunderstanding this, right? I've never gone as far and said I hate women. I don't hate women, right? I don't think anybody really hates, the opposite sex. I think a lot of people are confused about what's happening nowadays in the modern dating world, and they don't like how superficial the dating world has become. They don't like the unreasonable expectations women have nowadays that they've never had before, right? When you have women, like I said, that on a scale of 1 to 10 are a 2 or a 3 on the attraction scale, and they want the top 10% guys that have a 6-figure income, 6-pack abs, 6 inches or greater below the belt, and it's 6 feet or taller. When those women want that, where in the past those women would take a mediocre guy like me because we were better looking than them, right? We can't even get those women nowadays without getting lucky or putting a lot of work into it. And even then we still might not get them. That's what's happening. That's the truth of the matter. Most is probably overselling it, but definitely a lot more than the regular population. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but let's move on. Oh, yeah, for sure. I envy my friends who don't go online like that, have never even heard of what an incel is or a red pill or anything else like that. I just mentioned incel, involuntary celibate. Red pill comes from the MGTOW community. A red pillar, like I've been red pilled, but I'm technically called purple pill because a red pillar is one that withdraws from society. It withdraws from women because the stove is too hot and it's too risky to date or marry women in the modern world. A blue pillar has red pill knowledge, but, proceeds with the caution and awareness of the red pill and will still date women like I do and potentially marry a woman. But as you will see how I handled this woman during the second half of the show by reading the text conversation, you're going to see how red pilled I am. I'm not being a jerk. I have just learned to identify this BS and learn to see a woman's true colors before investing the time to get to know her when it wouldn't work out. I find out their true colors sooner, and wait till you see the questions I asked her to find this out. She was trying to figure out something out about me in a sneaky way, and she didn't realize I flipped it on her. And when you see how I flipped it on her, you guys are going to be like, wow. Damn, right? Oh, yeah, for sure. I envy my... Oh, wait a minute. Did I just read that? Oh, no, I don't think I did. Oh, yeah, for sure. I envy my friends who don't go online like that and have never even heard... Oh, I read that. The incel thing, right? They are just out in the world living life, enjoying themselves, have great success with women, etc. The guys that are probably having great success with women are the top 10 to 20% of guys that are 6 feet or taller, 6 inches or greater below the belt, 6-figure income, and 6-pack abs. Just think about it. You're talking about a small percentage of men. The majority of men are just like you and myself. Pretty sure you just did the exact thing, OP. What's this op? I don't know what that stands for. Justifiably recommended men not do. All you did was swap women with dudes. Okay? I have nothing to add to that, except I didn't. Anybody who has been on Reddit for longer than a week knows how toxic this site is towards women. It's not about Reddit, you guys. This is about the way things are nowadays. You guys are sitting here blaming Reddit, one of the best forums on the planet, to discuss, social topics, right? And you guys are saying it's all because of Reddit. And then you have people say, oh, YouTube doesn't like me. That's why they're removing me. No, it's not about that. It's not about the platform. It's about you and how you see things and how people see things. This platform is open to the world. Anyone can comment on it. So how in the world can you folks say, oh, it's just Reddit? This is just how Reddit is. Reddit doesn't have a bunch of employees writing this stuff. This is the general public posting. Reddit's just providing the server with a forum to host people posting and commenting. I don't understand how some people, do you folks not have any common sense nowadays? Women today suck because of feminism and polygamy. When I read this earlier, I'm like, the polygamy thing, that's a choice. The feminism thing, I'll agree with you on. This guy says women today suck because of feminism. I'll agree with that, and I'll professionally say it's not because of women having equal rights through feminism. Feminism was created for women to have equal rights. That's it. But no one knew, including women, no one knew that giving women these rights was going to more so convert women from being more feminine to being more masculine. No one knew that. And I'll tell you why it took, even though women have been liberated for about 55 years or so now, the reason why it took until about 10 to 15 years ago or 20 years ago for it to become more apparent, because that's when social media was born. Before social media, we didn't have, I'm broadcasting live from my home studio in high quality. I couldn't do this 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Now it's more apparent because now there's nothing we can't do online. I practically have a television studio in my place. It's just becoming more and more apparent. But what has changed is the fact that women have more options now for dating because of the thirsty beta males and because of smartphones and dating apps. That's the reason. This women have unlimited options. That's what it boils down to. Okay, that one I'm not going to read. I'm going to read one more here to get to the last one. Feminism corrupting society is not a small example. MGTOW has grown to the point where 30% of men in their 20s now want nothing to do with women. And that's pretty sad. It's true, though. It's a true number. They want nothing to do with women because women are not acting like women. They're not being feminine. They're not giving these guys the time of day. They're dismissing men. They're being rude and vile and obnoxious. They're just not behaving feminine. And these guys are like, okay, it's like, okay, we're just going to withdraw. The juice is not worth the squeeze. That has tripled from less than 10% in 10 years, and it's going to continue to grow. What I want to do is help these men understand that it's not about withdrawing. It's about being a strong man and not putting women on a pedestal and sucking up to them, not being beta. That's what it's all about. Women are preferred by universities. That's true. Graduate at higher rates. That's true. 2/3 of all degrees nowadays come from women. Are preferred 2-to-1 by STEM employers. That's true. Earn more than men. That's not completely true, but it's getting there. 30% of the households here in the U.S. have women as the breadwinners. My last 2 girlfriends were the breadwinners in their marriages before they got divorced, and then they got with me. So while that's not completely true, that women earn more than men, overall, they're getting there. And I'm going to tell you right now, over the next, I'd say 20 to 50 years, that number is probably going to increase to over 50%, because more or fewer and fewer people are getting married, and the people that are getting married are having women are being the breadwinners, and they're basically the head of the household, and the man is the woman in the relationship. It's yeah, this is true. This is true. Are given 100% more leeway in the courts than men. That's true. Are far more sexually selective than men. Well, they're selective because of the options of you beta mons, beta mons, beta mons, beta mons, beta mons. I certainly don't give these women the options. And guys like me that are red-pilled don't give women these options. So where do you think they get these options to be more sexually selective than men? The beta mons, beta mons, beta mons, beta mons, beta mons. I'm going to chant for like 24 hours straight one of these days to try to get through to all the beta mons, right? False rape accusations are rampant. Yeah. There are women that have consented to sex with men, and then the next day they say, I got raped. Lie about rape culture, yep, also are. Women receive 4 times the money in medicine and procedures than men. That's absolutely true. Despite men dying twice as much from similar diseases, men are 4 times as likely to be homeless or to commit suicide. Everything this guy said is true. These are facts. Just off the top of my head, feel free to fact check any of this. No need, dude. I've been living this. I've been dealing with this for at least the last 4 years since I've been on YouTube between my former channel and this one. These are absolute hardcore stone cold facts. Yet many women still feel they are oppressed because women are emotional beings and they're never satisfied. Biologically, that's how they are. And that's what even makes it more insane in the modern world of women being liberated and empowered and everything else you just mentioned here, dude. Like, I'm saddened by this. I am. Damn, if those numbers are true, it does seem alarming. My guess is that it is an overcorrection from women being oppressed for so long, and that eventually the pendulum will swing back to reach a happy medium. It's never going back. You guys kidding me? You know, we've talked about this. I used to be a part of the MGTOW community, not anymore. It got too insane out here on YouTube, and YouTube started shutting down channels that were doing MGTOW content. But I used to be a part of the community, and that's what we were saying. We were trying to do our part to swing it back the other way, but nope. There was a guy named Big John, used to run a channel called MGTOW's Freedom. And he was trying to, start like a nonprofit or an organization to stand up for men's rights. And he had a pretty good amount of people supporting it. But, just because you have 50,000, 100,000 people supporting something, you need millions of people. You need tens of millions. When women fought for rights, they got everyone on board. It's never going to go back. I doubt it. Unless the government steps in and does something about it. But who's going to do something about it? The male members of government? What would happen? Then the female members of government would give him hell. One example, one person in Congress that I can't stand is Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she has a horrible attitude, right? Not because she's conservative. I think she's just a crazy crazy conservative, to say the least, right? Let's put it politely, right? It's never going back. And if it ever does, it's going to be a long time. It may be centuries before it flips again. But regardless, I still disagree with avoiding women altogether or painting them all as selfish monsters. I agree. A lot of them are. Most of them are, but not all of them. But yes, you don't need to withdraw. There are still some good women out there. It's just going to take you a lot longer to find them, and you have to learn how to weed out the wrong ones much quicker so you don't waste too much time with the wrong ones to leave the space available for the right one, right? So when that's so far from the truth, in an actual real life scenario, at least in my experience and the experience of everyone I know who has been in loving relationships, has good female friends, good relationships with their mothers, etc. Well, a lot of boys and girls nowadays grow up in a broken family, a broken household. The divorce rate's over 60%. Look at the stats. Why do you think people are messed up nowadays? Look at the stats. Where does this all stem from? It stems from feminism. On one aspect, it got women equal rights. They needed to get equal rights. I'm all for that. Okay? But it changed the way that women are biologically. In order to do these jobs that they've been empowered to do, it changed them biologically from a mental standpoint, an emotional standpoint of acting more masculine than feminine. And when it comes time to being around guys, these women can't turn it off like a switch. They still feel the need to act more masculine when they're around masculine men, even though they look like a beautiful woman, right? And to me, that's a huge turnoff. I've come across many women like that, and it's an instant turnoff, right? All right. I may go take a break before I read this next one. I was going to go through all three of them, but I'm going to take a break and then come back and read this one. We are at 57 minutes. Let me check out the chat here real quick. Let's see here. Critical Mass is here. How's it going, brother? Welcome to the show. Eli, you could do a single. Oh, with the Betamon song? That's cool, bro. Acapella. Don't you dare sing that for 24 hours, says Queen. Well, Queen, if I want to do it, I'll do it. I probably won't. I was just trying to be a little funny, Queen. I think you know that. But if I want to do it, I'll do it. They could use it on inmates at Guantanamo Bay. Okay. Mass says soften them up. I'm just, there's too much chat going on in here right now. I'm just kind of scrolling through it. All right. It's all good. They're having a conversation in the chat. Let me check out Facebook real quick. Nothing happening over on Facebook. And nothing happening over on the live. All right. I'm going to queue up some royalty-free music. Then I'm going to come back and go through the final Reddit. Depending on how long it takes, I may take another quick break after that and then get to the stories, folks. I may be on a little over 2 hours, a little longer than I expected to be, but it's going to be worth it. So let me queue up that music. Let me see here. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find some songs I haven't played in a while. Let's see. All right, folks, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for probably like an 8 to 10 minute break, maybe a little less, and then we'll get right back to the final Reddit posting. Did I switch back to full screen? No. Women are not less visual or less superficial is what we're going to talk about from the subreddit dating when I return. So let me switch back to full screen. I've got my my sleep shirt on tonight. It's a little warm, so I figured I'd just wear this. I have to get a new one. This one's getting a little bit old, and I ironed it out. But sometimes once, you watch something too many times, you can't avoid the wrinkles. And with my new Sony A6400 camera, high quality at 1080p, 60 frames per second, you can see every single wrinkle, right? But anyway. All right, folks. Stick around. We'll be right back. We're back. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Gotta feel it. Feel it with me. Nice and smooth. Yeah. Whew. Sorry, folks, I had a message behind the scenes here. Yeah. All right, let's get back to it. I got distracted there for a second with a message behind the scenes. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily streaming live on YouTube and simulcasting live on Facebook and the live. Lots of options to catch the live in-studio streams. Any mobile stream I do is exclusive to YouTube only, so if you're not subscribed to me on YouTube, please go to youtube.com/lifecoacheli. youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. And, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, or just go to the YouTube search bar and type in Coach Eli, Elias Melas, and you'll find my channel with over 4K subs there. You'll know it's me there. You'll see my beautiful mug. And I also have a bunch of pre-recorded videos coming down the road. All right, we're back. I got disconnected from the YouTube live streaming server, but now I'm reconnected. Hasn't happened in a little while. Happened one time. Right when you're in the middle of your spiel, right? And it cuts you off, right? Nothing you can do about it. You just roll with it. And you keep on moving forward. That's it. You keep moving forward no matter what. The show must go on. Life goes on. Hey, you've got to take these with a grain of salt and not let it get to you, okay? Don't let anything get in the way of you moving forward to accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires. Yeah. Queen Helen Casey in the chat says, right now I got another live stream going on another device, and it has to do with John McAfee before he allegedly committed suicide in prison. That's sad. Holly, hopeful, and blessed. Hey all, I am calling it a night, but ML to all, good night. Oh, my love, is that, are you saying my love to all, good night? Is that what you meant by that? You're speaking in millennial code, Holly, and I don't understand all millennial code. I'm Gen X like you, but hey, it is what it is. All right, folks, tonight we're discussing why superficial women remain single, a personal experience, and more. One more time, why superficial women remain single, a personal experience, and more. If you missed the first part of the show, I shared a couple of great Reddit postings, and I'm about to go and share a third one, which is even better than the first two, in my opinion. And depending on how long it takes, I may take another break here after that. And then during the last segment, I'm going to be sharing a personal experience I had with a woman that ended up being a superficial experience. I'll explain more about that, when I get to it. I shared a lot about that as a prelude at the beginning of the show, but I'll share everything that happened through our conversation when we get to that. It's rather interesting, and how sneaky she was trying to be about it. Tried to not come off superficial while being completely superficial. And you're going to see her reaction and how I handled her reaction. And you're going to also know why this woman is single, even though she's really cute. She's 38. She's cute. She has a couple kids. I mean, most women have kids nowadays at that age. So, I mean, it's not even about that, but she's a beautiful woman. Takes good care of herself and, writes very well, but is caught up in this same stigma that most other women are, where she wants the absolute best freaking looking guy she can get before anything else even matters. Women don't say that, but that's how it is. That's how it is. It has gotten to the point of nowadays, folks, where I'm not going to say for all women, some women are not as picky on looks, but I'd say about 95% of the women out there must have a 100% physical attraction to you before anything else matters. You're going to see it from this woman that tried to come off differently when I get to that. All right, let's go ahead and switch back over to the browser source and get to this Reddit from the subreddit Dating. Women are not less visual or less superficial. That's true. Women are not less visual or less superficial. As I was growing up, they were less visual and less superficial. Even though when I was growing up, women were already liberated, there wasn't social media, there wasn't dating sites or dating apps. There wasn't a swipe left and a swipe right community where women have endless options, and there weren't as many thirsty beta males. to give women unlimited options to become and enable them to be superficial, extremely superficial, and extremely visual. Women nowadays have become more visual and superficial than men. I'm not saying men aren't visual or superficial to a certain extent. Some of us are. I'm not. I'm not very picky. I'll date an average woman with a great personality. But women nowadays, most of them, 95% of them, maybe 90, 95% of them, they won't date an average man with a great personality that, makes decent money, even though he may not make six figures like most of them want, right? They won't. But us guys will, right? Let's see what they say here. They just don't care about facial attractiveness or physique as much as men do, but they emphasize height a lot. That's not true. They care about the whole package physically. They are 100% into looks. The majority of them. Not all of them, but the majority of them. For reasons I've been mentioning throughout this entire show. It's not just height. That's one aspect. This is why women are not less visual or less superficial. Well, that's not the only reason, but that is one of the reasons there. Height is one of them. But they want you to have a six-pack. They want you to have a full head of hair. They want you to make six figures. They want you to have 6 inches or greater below. Exactly, or et cetera. Sorry, 6 feet or taller. I've been saying it a lot, so it's kind of like driving me insane saying it all the time. Women emphasize height a lot. They do, 6 feet or taller. Google the height and dating video on YouTube. I can't link it here. It is a dating experiment where they line up men at different heights who have different talents, occupations, and women choose from them. I hate those videos. They're like fabricated. Even though they may be partially true, like those videos are just for entertainment purposes. Let me tell you this, folks. Half the things you see on YouTube are fabricated for ratings. You can tell when something's genuine and it's not. Look at this video. The women pick the tall guys over the short guy, regardless of circumstances. Yep. They could be like 4'11". They still want a 6 foot tall guy with a 6-pack, 6-figure income, 6 inches below the belt or greater. Man. Meaning it doesn't matter if they are rich, caring, successful, talented. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. It is 100% about looks for the majority of women nowadays before anything else matters. They rule him out over a stupid physical trait. That's true. That's true. At one point, there is a guy named Dave. He is 5'6" and handsome. Women still prefer an average-looking tall guy who is a gym teacher. Even when they make Dave a chief surgeon, some of the women still prefer the taller guy. Oh, yeah. Doesn't matter if you're a doctor nowadays. You still have to qualify in all other aspects. Women have become visual creatures 100%. Not all of them, but most of them. Because that's what the thirsty beta male market has done. It gives women unlimited options. Same with dating apps, okay? Same with social media. Women are getting tons of validation, right? They're getting tons of validation from the guys that they don't want, right? And they're only giving the chance to the guys that they do want, which are 10% of the men or less. And what happens? Those guys use those women because those guys know the women want them solely for their looks. These guys are like, okay, they're hot. I'll lead them to believe that something's happening, and I'll just sleep with them and hang out with them when I feel like it. When I get tired of them, I'll kick them to the curb, and I'll go with another hot woman that is looking for a 6 foot or taller guy, 6 inches or greater, 6-figure income, 6-pack, abs, right? That's what happens. Then women say, where have all the good men gone, right? It's this vicious cycle. Couldn't have said it, any other. I've said this many times, which is what I'm trying to say. And I'll keep saying it. I sound like a broken record, which is what I'm trying to say. That's what's actually happening. That's the issue. Let's see. They literally have to make him God so women find him more attractive. He has to be godlike, talented, author, surgeon, chef, etc., just to be more appealing than an average-looking gym teacher. The average-looking guy nowadays, I'm not even talking about guys that are below average. Guys that are below average have never, had good luck with women because they don't take care of themselves. But the average-looking guy like myself, for example, okay, is getting the shaft when we should be given the shaft. Then all I hear is this bullshit about how women are less visual and they don't care. Bullshit. They care just as much, if not more. It's not just as much, it's more. They care more about looks today than men do. Men, a lot of men, including myself, I'll admit this, have lowered my standards because even lowering your standards, it's hard to get those women. It's hard to get women nowadays. I'm an average, decent-looking guy. It's even hard for me to get below average-looking women. That used to be easier to get back in the days before all this, went to hell. Decades ago or years ago. It started 55 years ago when women were liberated, but it started to really, really kick into high gear around 20 years ago when social media came out, and now with smartphones, boom, it's in extreme high gear. Women look for personality too, but it means hardly anything if you're not tall enough. 5'6" isn't even that short, but women will pick a mediocre 6-foot guy over you. True. I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10". I feel I'm a decent looking guy. I don't have a six-pack, but I'm slender and in good shape. And I have a great personality. And I like doing fun things. And I treat a woman right. And still, I don't get the chance with many other women that even 10 years ago, before these smartphones came out, I would have had the chance. But no, women are less visual. Give me a fucking break. I agree. Let's read what the comment section says. How does Danny DeVito get any attention then? Well, people know who he is. He knows people in Hollywood. And when you're an established actor like that, making good money, having the personality you have, you're going to have a big network of friends. And he's a very social dude. So, for some guys, for some men and women that have status, that's going to get them more attention, even from women. But it's going to be the wrong attention. See what I'm saying? They're going to want to be with him for his money and his resources, not for who he is, because they're not physically attracted to him. How does anyone under 5'6" procreate? Well, they have sex, dude. But I get it. Nowadays, because of the way things are, guys 5'6" are getting less sex or none at all, right? I'm going to assume that if height was truly a determining factor for the preservation of the species, short people would be evolutionarily weeded out. Tom Cruise is like 5'5", LOL. No, Tom Cruise is like 5'10". Let me see. Tom Cruise height. He's 5'7". He's 5'7". I didn't think Tom Cruise was that short. I'm taller than Tom Cruise. Some people have said when I looked younger, I was like the younger version of Tom Cruise. I got a good laugh out of that. Got a great laugh out of that. Tom Cruise is like 5'5", LOL. Okay, 5'7". You're cutting him 2 inches short. What is your plan exactly? To prove to the world that you have no hope? What are you attempting to accomplish? Should we feel bad for you and go on a woman suck tirade? Not sure of your intentions here. No, they're just stating that women are superficial. The person that posted this and that you're responding to is just saying that women have become extremely superficial. And I myself have explained why they become extremely superficial. If you can't find women that don't care about your height, that's on you. Well, it's difficult when the majority of them do care about it. It makes it harder to find ones that don't. What, you gonna blame all women? I'm not blaming women, and I don't think this person's blaming women. Who's really to blame? It's the thirsty beta males for giving you women all the attention and validation. It's the dating apps that give you endless options, right? At your fingertips. And because the beta males are, all sucking up to you ladies and are willing to be put in endless backup status, unlike me, you ladies have lots of options and lots of backup plans, right? I don't know if this Happy Pillows commenter is a male or a female. Sounds like it's a female. You are literally weeding yourself out. Well, you have to. If a woman doesn't want to be with me for the right reasons, like this other woman I'm going to share my story on here during the next segment of the show, if she doesn't want to be with me for the right reasons, I have to weed her out. If she's superficial and only will want to get to know me if she feels a 100% level of perfect physical sexual attraction, which doesn't exist, right? If you're that superficial, then man, I don't want to be with someone like that, because if they're superficial about looks to that level, what else are they going to expect to be perfect? And life is not perfect. You will continue to become undesirable while blaming a population of a gender. This sounds like a social justice warrior saying this. This is ridiculous. You need a change in mindset. No, we need a change in society is what we really need. But anyway. How does Danny DeVito get any attention then? Garbage example. He is super rich and famous. I said the same thing a second ago. That's not a representative group of people to look at. Also, his wife isn't even attractive. How does anybody under 5'6" procreate? I'm going to assume that if height was truly a determining factor for the preservation of the species, short people would be evolutionarily weeded out. Tom Cruise is like 5'5", LOL. And his response to that is, you're not getting my point. Besides, people are actually getting taller every generation. On top of that, those guys are celebs. Terrible example. Exactly. Like I said, they have a pre-established network of people and resources that women are attracted to, but that doesn't mean those women are going to be with those famous people because they're physically attracted to them and they feel it for the right reasons. They're going to use their resources. That's terrible. What is your plan exactly? To prove to the world that you have no hope? What are you attempting to accomplish? Should we feel bad for you and go on a woman suck tirade? Not sure of your intentions here. Ideally for people, this is the response to that, what I read earlier from another comment. Ideally for people, stop spewing this bullshit about how women care about a man's character more than his physical appearance. Bullshit, that's true. I hate to admit it. I don't like it. But as I will show you in this texting conversation I had with this woman, she was nice. She was trying to be nice. But once I started to ask her some questions to the point of where she knew I was looking to see how she was going to respond, she responded to me in a way that was very, very interesting. Give me a second here. I popped my pop filter. Excuse me. I think we're good again. All right, we're good. Let's go back to the browser source. I went on a date today with a guy of average height. Okay, this is a woman here. As we were hugging, I asked him how tall he was. I could sense that he was pretty uncomfortable answering the question. He then told me he was 5'8". Perfect, I said. I've never dated a guy over 5'8". I'm short myself, and always found 5'8" to be perfect for me. It's easy to hug them, kiss them, and reach all parts of their body easily. I think it would be terribly inconvenient for me to date anyone over 6 feet, to be honest. Well, I can respect this woman. And this dude, the reason why he probably felt uncomfortable when you asked the question is because he felt you were asking him a question that could potentially eliminate him. Right? So, but that's not a bad question to ask. But maybe in the future, if you're in that situation, say, hey, this is not a deal breaker. Preface with that, I'm just curious to know, you seem to be the perfect height for me. What height are you actually, right? But when you say, hey, how tall are you, right? And you don't preface why you're asking, especially on a first date or something, the guy's going to think, okay, this is a test. And they're going to be like, okay, am I going to get eliminated based on how I answer this? I got to be truthful because, if she actually measures me one of these days, it's going to be the real number, right? I don't think this guy was trying to be insecure. I think he was thrown off by the question. He's probably a good guy. But then you said perfect, I said. I've never dated a guy over 5'8", and you find it to be perfect. So it worked. My girlfriends and I were chatting about it too. Tall guys can be overrated. I can't believe how superficial and stupid girls can be about height, but to each their own, I guess. Well, ma'am, you're one of the 5 or 10% of women in the world that think like this. Where are you? I'll take you on a date. I'll take you away for an entire weekend. I don't even know you. I just like your attitude. Maybe you should start a YouTube channel and try to tell women that, hey, there's a much better way of living life. If you want to get what you want and not be eternally single and miserable because you're so superficial and expect perfection with height and other attributes of a man, then you know what? Maybe lower your standards a bit and you'll get what you want. Physical traits are important for physical attraction across all demographics. Yes, to a certain extent. No one's perfect. We're overvaluing physical attraction nowadays. Why? Because it's been inflated by the media. It's been inflated by these dating apps. That's what it is. It's been inflated by the media. Correct me if I'm wrong, Queen, that if you're attractive, you get everything. Why do you think they put hot girls on TV commercials? Because all the guys look at them and wow, and you pay attention for the whole commercial, right? And then you probably go buy the product because you remember it because of the hot girl, right? Of course. But all I hear everywhere is that girls care more about personality and that men care more about physical traits. That went out 10 years ago. When these smartphones came out and we started swiping left and swipe right, we became a hookup culture, right? That changed everything. That's the way it used to be. It's not that way anymore. Women are more into looks than even men are nowadays. And don't get me wrong, guys, we still are into looks. But women have become way more pickier than men have ever been. Women have basically, most of them have become unreachable, even for guys that they would have normally, or even for guys that would have normally been able to get with girls like this even 10 years ago, right? You just keep saying the same thing over and over, dude. I think you have an unhealthy fixation. That's probably another woman just being bitter. Everything these guys are saying about women's expectations on looks is completely true. I've personally experienced it, more so over the last 2.5 years since I've been single. To be honest, I'm just frustrated with bullshit I keep hearing. Why is it that women are portrayed as complex when they are just as surface level, if not more, than men? You're misunderstanding the point here. This is probably another woman. You're not understanding that you ladies have unlimited options nowadays because of the beta mons. How many beta male orbiters, ma'am, do you have hovering around your phone? I'd say phone book, but it's it's on your phone, your contact list on your phone. How many beta male orbiters are there on your phone list? And how often do you reach out to them? And would you ever date one? Or are you going after the guys that are 6 feet or taller, that have a 6-figure income, 6 inches or more below the belt, and 6-pack abs? But you're coming out here saying, I'm frustrated with bullshit I keep hearing. Why is it that women are portrayed as complex when they are just as surface level, if not more than men? I don't think women are at the same surface level they used to be. I think it's totally flipped. Women are just saying that because you ladies just want to rule the world nowadays. That's the truth of the matter. You ladies just want to rule the world. Not all, but most. It's ridiculous. I was in line today getting a sandwich. There was an attractive man who was probably 5'5" or so. He looked good to me, but I could not get over him being shorter. I'm 5'9". I can't disagree with you at all. Yeah, that's sad. I mean, I can understand that. At least you're being honest about it, right? And most guys that are 5'5" are not going to go for 5'9" women, even if they're attractive. They're going to go for a woman that's probably 5'2" or 5 foot, right? But you're honest, Miss Over Ramen. Great username there. So many women complain about how life is hard if you're not a pretty girl. Not anymore. Not anymore. You have women that are 100 pounds overweight that are making it difficult. I'm not saying I would go for a woman at that size, but even if I did, even those women want the top guys. So it doesn't even matter about how good a woman looks. It matters more about how good the guy looks. They all want the hottest, sexiest man, first and foremost. And then you got to qualify with the money and the personality and all that stuff, right? It's like a job interview. It's a huge job interview. Women now make dating a job interview. And when you interview them to see if they qualify, they say you're asking too many questions, but they can qualify you all day, every day, and it's okay, right? And it's fair and equal, right? Or women are complaining that, we've been liberated, but we still have a long way to go before things are equal between men and women. That's bullshit. That's complete BS, right? Please, life is 10 times worse if you're a short man. That's true. Good looks can't even make you attractive, and you have to be godlike to be appealing to women. Nowadays you do. Not to mention, people bully you when you're a kid. The same bullies are drowning in pussy. That's true. The bullies are getting all the women. It's pathetic. Miss Over Ramen, the one that mentioned a second ago about her being 5'9", and she saw an attractive guy 5'5", but could not get over him being shorter than her. She says to the last response, again, I can't disagree. I've been this y'all since 8th grade. I hated it until I was out of school and in the real world. And Scorpio Lover Boy says the same thing. I said, at least you're honest. I agree. Ma'am, I got to tell you, this is a woman I respect. I'm going to give you a big round of applause. This is a woman I respect. Now, ma'am, I'm 5'10". Would you give me the time of day? Or am I not cute enough for you because I don't have a six-pack, right? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to go public and say my package size. We don't need to put that publicly. The reality is that most of these experiments don't include any social interaction at all. Based on looks, yeah, they will pick a taller guy. Yep. What value would the social interaction? Could it possibly be more important than high money status? It all matters, but it's about the looks first. Yeah, clicking with someone is a lot more complicated than filling in some check boxes. It is. But it's all about looks. There's actually a third woman I've been talking to, and this one actually really likes me, right? I think I have a good chance with this one. It's funny to me. We met on Bumble. I had swiped right on her, and she was swiping through, and she saw my picture, swiped right, and immediately sent me a canned message. And I called her out. I said, was that a canned message, or are you actually interested in getting to know me? And she's like, no, that wasn't a canned message. But yeah, no, I'd like to get to know you. You seem like a good guy and this and that. And she didn't say anything about the looks, right? But I talked with her by phone last night. And she goes, you know what? You called me out on my canned message. I admit it was a canned message. I'm like, why'd you send me a canned message? Well, I was just swiping through, and I thought you were really cute, and I swiped right on you. This is a really good woman. And she actually is a good person. I've been talking with her. This one might actually lead to something. Who knows? I may go on a hike with her tomorrow. We're supposed to talk later tonight. But she's even a good woman. She swiped right, sent me a canned message, and she swiped right on me because she read my profile, right? But she said, basically, she sent me a canned message because she thought I was cute. She wanted to see if I was going to respond to her once we connected. Women have to be as close to, if not 100% attracted to you sexually, physically, to date. It's just the way it is. Coming in at 6'4", I've never considered my height as an advantage. Quite the opposite. A lot of girls got intimidated by is that an extra word in there? And got rejected a lot. Or did you mean a lot? Add to it that I have to wear glasses and never been the sporty type. You end up with a recipe for rejection, but in general, girls do like their man to be a bit taller than them, but the other features are also important. Yeah, I've gone on some dates with women that were the same height as me, and they didn't have a problem with it. I've also talked with other women that are 5'7", 5'8", and said that I like to wear heels and I'd be taller than you, and that wouldn't make me feel comfortable. It all depends on the woman. But typically, the women I've dated have been anywhere from 5'2" to 5'7", with an average of about 5'4", 5'5". And typically, they've been 5 years younger than me. That's typically what's worked for me. Let's see. Don't get offended, man. Just how it is. Our basic biological programming drives us to pair off with only the best or what we perceive to be the best. It may suck, but at the end of the day, you can't make the rules. That is true. And listen, we're not saying that the hot women or, even the average women are not attracted to average guys at all. They are. But if they can attract better looking men or the higher, the upper 10% of men, the 6 feet or taller men, 6 foot men or taller, 6-pack abs, etc., they're going to go for them, even though they were attracted to us. They're attracted more to these guys. It's just before in the past, they weren't able to get these guys, so they settled for the best looking guys to get for the time, right? Because maybe those options weren't available over a decade ago before the dating apps and all that. Now that the options are available to women, it doesn't mean they're going to get these guys, but the options are available and they think they have a better chance. In some cases, they will get a date with one of these guys or two of them, but then these guys use it for sex because these guys know the value to these women. These guys know the game as well as women know the game. What's unfair is how men are portrayed as simpletons who just care about looks, but women are portrayed as more complex and more deep. It's fucking bullshit. I agree. Let's just be straight up and admit that women are not less visual. That's true. They don't care about personality more than looks. Not initially. They do care about personality, but you have to pass the looks test before anything else matters. I'm going to prove that to you with my conversation with this woman here when I come back from the break after I go on a break here in a second. I'm going to just read this last one, and then I'm going to take a break. I think I'm almost at the bottom here anyway. If they won't date a 5'5" guy for his height, they aren't any less shallow. That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. All right. We are at 1 hour and 48 minutes. Let me check out Facebook and D Live, see if anything's going on over there. Nothing's going on over there. And we're all caught up on YouTube. All right. I'm going to flip back over to full screen and cue up some more royalty-free YouTube music, about 10 minutes worth, because I need to refill some coffee. Let me see here. All right. Let me see here. All right. Need just one more. Let me see. Let me see here. All right, folks, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for about a 10-minute break, and when we return, I'm going to get into this story and possibly, if I have the energy and the time, to give you a second story, which is a woman that's not superficial and being honest about her activities, in talking with other men, etc. I'll get to that as well. So stick around. We'll be right the likely rooster hat? I haven't worn this in a while, or worn it in a while. I can't even speak proper English. I'm just feeling good tonight. I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with the punches, and you should too. Yeah. Oh yeah. So beautiful, wonderful, amazing Friday evening. The weather is great. It's a little humid here in the San Francisco Bay Area, but couldn't ask for any better weather, except for less humidity, but that's okay. You got to just deal with it. Yes. All right. Welcome back to the third and final segment of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook and DLive. Glad you could all join me here tonight. We've been discussing why superficial women remain single, a personal experience, and more. One more time, why superficial women remain single, a personal experience, and more. Well, I've shared the more already, sharing 3 very interesting Reddit, postings. And if you missed the first 2 segments of the show, go back and check out the replay when it becomes available on YouTube and Facebook. If you're on DLive, you can check me out on YouTube and subscribe, bang the bell. YouTube.com/Life Coach Eli, or just type in Coach Eli Elias Melas in the YouTube search bar, and you'll find my channel there with over 4K subs. I'm sure there are some clones out there and other aspects, but I'm sure you'll be able to find it. You folks know how to find things. If you want to find someone nowadays with the internet, you can find them, right? Let's leave that one alone. Yeah. Hey, Queen, it's great to see you're still here. I appreciate you, Queen. I appreciate everyone. Good, bad, or indifferent, everyone has something unique to bring to the table, and everyone teaches you a lesson. You can learn a lesson from anyone, even the bad people, because you learn what not to do and how not to be through them, right? So anyway, let's get right to this, folks, because I want to see if I have time to share a little bit more of a positive interaction. I'm not saying this interaction with this woman I'm about to share was not positive, but let me share with you what happened here. So I connected with this woman on Match.com. I increased my search radius a little bit because, just haven't been having luck within my regular area. And I connected with a woman that lives about 3.5 hours away. And, for the right woman, I'm willing to make the effort. And I love to drive, so that's not a big deal. I messaged this woman. She got back to me, and she said, "You seem like a great guy, and, you're an attractive guy, and seems like you know what you want, but I've done the long distance thing before, and it's just not for me." I'm reading you folks. Well, I'm not reading, but I'm sharing with you folks what we discussed on Match.com initially before we traded numbers. And I no longer have access to that conversation. I'll explain more in just a little bit. And I said, look, how about we just talk and get to know each other, no expectation, And she's like, we could chat on the app here for a bit. And I said, well, I'm more old school. I prefer to talk by phone. If you'd like to send me your number, I can text you to arrange a call. And so she, sent me her number, right? And, she told me on the Match.com app that she was a little tired and we could talk tomorrow. This was last night when we were talking, right? So I sent her a text last night. I said, I'm gonna refer to this woman as ma'am, as I refer to all women I talk about, because I don't want to put out their names. So I want to make it clear. I don't call these women, "Hey, ma'am, how you doing? It's Eli, ma'am. I'd like to meet you, ma'am." I call them by their name, right? Queen is out looking for trolls. Queen has the big eyes for trolls, even though she knows my channel is practically bulletproof with Nightbot and the YouTube block words list, and just even having you here, Queen. It's been a slow night for the moderation tonight, huh, Queen? So let me read how the texting went. So last night I said, "Hi, ma'am, it's Eli from Match. I just wanted to text you before you go to sleep so you have my number. I'm really enjoying getting to know you so far." She got back to me at 5:57 a.m. this morning. So sweet. My son was so talkative. Then I told him I am so tired, so he tucked me in and I fell asleep. And so I got back to her 5 hours later. I was busy doing other things. I just decided to be a little flirty with her, just kind of give her some banter. I said, "Good morning. Are you really as adorable as you appear in your Match profile? LOL." And then she loved my comment. You can love comments, or love, the text. She writes back and says, "Time will tell," with the sticking out my tongue emoji and then the sideways crying at a laughter emoji. And then she wrote back, "Good morning," with a smiley face. Got back to her 3 hours later at about 1:14 p.m. Pacific time today. "I'm sure I'll see your true colors over the course of time," I wrote to her, "but just know something about me. I reward my lady for good behavior. Ha ha ha, LOL." And then I wrote, "And trust me, when I say this, the good behavior is worth the reward." Because this woman initially was concerned about the distance and all that, because apparently she's tried some long distance relationships in the past and they failed. It was just the wrong guy. That's all it was. She writes back to me and says, this was about 20 minutes later at 1:26 p.m. A little less than 20 minutes later. "You got character, that's for sure." And then she goes, "Can you send me a pic for your contact, or am I going to have to take one?" I was like, how the hell can you take a picture of me? You mean download one or screenshot one to add as a contact? So I wrote back to her and I sent her my professional picture. I attached my professional picture to this message. "You want to add me as a contact, ? I guess the distance issue is long gone. Ha ha ha, LOL. Give me a few and I will send you something." So then I sent her the picture and I said, "Does this work as a contact picture? I'll keep this very professional with you, sending my professional picture, and lay off being witty and charming. Ha ha ha, LOL." And then she laughed at my comment. She did the laugh, response. And then she writes, "That's still on the table, so we will see." So in essence, she's still being guarded by the distance thing. I didn't really like that, but I'm like, okay, not a big deal. All right, I get it, right? Then she loved my image. And then she writes back and says, "I appreciate that dearly." I wrote back and said, "I'm glad you appreciate it. You can leave everything on the table, sweetheart. I am the most patient man on the planet that isn't thirsty like most other men. I just know if something is meant to be, that table of yours will clear itself. I could also think of better ways to use that table of yours, but we'll keep that thought in the future for now," right? I mean, this is a confident man that's not being arrogant, a little cocky, playful, funny, making her laugh and just being a cool dude, right? Nothing wrong with that. She writes back and says, "That's awesome," and gives me the clap emoji, right? All right. "So when are you free to talk by phone?" I said, "and what time is your typical bedtime for a Friday night?" She sends me a big emoji by itself, the sticking out my tongue emoji with the big eyes like Queen likes to use in the chat. She writes back, says, "I would love to go to bed by 10 tonight. I am going to take my kids volunteering in the morning." And then she wrote something that changed everything. Listen up, guys and gals, but guys primarily. She goes, "I would mind having a drink over Zoom or something like that." I think you meant to say, "Ma'am, I wouldn't mind having a drink over Zoom or something like that." So this woman wants me to get on a video chat Zoom with her and have a virtual drink with her. Have a video digital first date. me tell you what I wrote back to her. I don't do those virtual dates or stuff like that. I'm a little more old school in this aspect. So can we talk? So we can talk by phone if that works for you. If you're concerned about being catfished, that's not me. I would not drive 3.5 hours to meet someone looking different than my pictures, and then you feel a lack of sexual/physical attraction in person, and it's a waste of time for the both of us. Also, if tonight doesn't work for you, we can try another time, because right now I'm seeing this become very superficial. This woman wants to make sure I look the way I look. She's making it all about the looks. Then she writes back, interesting with 3 dots. We can talk more about this later. Didn't like that response because she didn't like mine. She didn't like the fact that I didn't agree with her virtual, drink over Zoom. That sounds really, really charming, ma'am. That sounds exciting. I'll have a drink with you in person and then possibly ram the living, what out of you. But I'm not going to sit there and, let's get onto Zoom and have a drink over Zoom. That sounds like so much fun. She's 38, so she's, a millennial, a tail end millennial, but she's still a millennial. Let me see here. So I wrote back. I thought about this. I wrote, sure thing. But what more needs to be said? Let me know if tonight or another time works for a call. And if this doesn't work for you because of the video chat thing, I'm cool with that too. Look, I know your suspicions. Let me read that again. Look, I know your suspicions are sky high, wondering what I'm hiding. I'm not hiding anything. I look the exact same as my pictures, and that's how I show up in person. I just think the digital video date is so superficial and not a real date. I would rather talk by phone once, meet, and just see what happens. It's as simple as that. Again, no worries if this doesn't work for you. Regardless, I appreciate the conversation thus far. I was just being nice, right? She writes back and says, no worries. A phone call isn't going to end the world. My take is a little different, but I can respect your point of view. And I thought that was cool until she wrote another message after that really, really turned me off. She wrote, if/when it does come to meeting. So she's basically saying, I haven't decided if I'm going to meet with you, so you better do it right? She's like, if/when it does come to meeting. Man, that's pretty freaking rude. That's you saying, Eli, I haven't decided I'm going to meet with you yet. And, I'm kind of not feeling you, not wanting to do this drink over Zoom thing. Right? And I'll respond to that and say, ma'am, I am the man and I am the prize. I'm a real man. I'm not a beta male like the majority of men you've encountered that are going to suck up to you. Oh, yes, let's do Zoom right now so you can see me and we can have a fake date, a fake virtual date to appease you, ma'am. So if/when it does come to meeting, that's when the perceptive is important. So the perception, ma'am, or the reality of whether you're 100% physically attracted to me or not, and I look the same in person as I do in my pictures or not, and even if I look the same in person and I drive 3.5 hours to meet you, you might be so damn picky that you may just not feel it, right? But we can chat about those things later or when the time comes. Actually, that wasn't the message that turned me off. Now let me tell you what I wrote to her, right? Now I knew I was going to call her out, but respectfully and professionally and maturely. Listen to this. I wrote, hey, I need to get back to work and I am sure you have some things to do as well. I respect your opinion, but I do appreciate direct honesty just like you do. Okay? I wrote, it seems like your concern is physical attraction 100% because you've been catfished many times and you are tired of having your time wasted. I understand the importance, of physical attraction for you as a woman. For me, it is more about the mental, emotional, and spiritual connection. Yes, the physical needs to be there, but I'm not picky about looks. As I've gotten older, I've more so learned to appreciate who a woman really is, besides her just being a pretty face or having a great body. Take all the time you need and reach out to me if you feel like talking by phone sometime. If I don't hear from you, just know I appreciate what you put into this so far. This is where she showed her cards. The moment she wanted to take this to Zoom and see a live video of me to make sure I'm not catfishing her and to make sure she's 100% physically attracted to me before anything else matters, right? Okay? I knew that something was up right there. I knew the type of woman this woman was, right? So she writes back and says, please don't speak for me. Oh, wow. Please don't speak for me, ma'am. I didn't speak for you. I spoke for myself. All I said was, it seems like your concern is physical attraction. I didn't say, your concern is definitely physical attraction. I said, it seems like, ma'am, in my opinion, it appears to me, speaking for myself, ma'am, that you are 100% concerned about physical attraction. How in the world is that speaking for you, man? You just didn't like what I said. You didn't like the fact that I wasn't compliant, man. Which is why you're going to miss out on a good guy. Which is why you're going to only attract thirsty beta males that are not going to cut it for you, ma'am, and you're going to be eternally single doing this. Please don't speak for me. I am very capable of doing that myself. When did I say you weren't, ma'am? That's ridiculous, ma'am. If you have questions regarding that, then we can talk later tonight. Nope. No, thank you. And she's hot, too. She's cute. Beautiful woman, right? But I'm not going to put up with that shit. I'm not. Yes, I have been busy with back-to-back meetings today. Enjoy the rest of your day. So you come off and say, please don't speak to me. And then you say, enjoy the rest of your day. Please don't speak with me. I'm very capable of doing that myself. What are you, some SJW, social justice warrior? What is this, hashtag me too, Eli? You think men, good men, high-value men like me are going to put up with that? No, ma'am. So I said, I'm going to teach this woman a lesson, because no guy has ever probably turned her down or called her out on this. So I'm going to teach her a lesson, because I'm already turned off right now. Most other guys would be, oh, she's cute, I'll put up with it, let's talk on Zoom, let's have a few drinks over Zoom, right? Right? Guys, you got to be direct and decisive and get to the point and find out what their intentions truly are. So this is what I wrote back to her. And I told her what I did. I'm going to tell you folks what I did. While reading this is going to tell you what I did, and I told her what I did at the same time. I wrote back, this is the final message. You just showed me your cards in true colors with your SJW response. SJW, again, is social justice warrior. Don't speak for me. I'm capable of doing that myself. Don't speak for me. I'm capable of doing that myself. Ma'am, how attractive is that to a man to come at him in that way when he never did speak for you? No, man. You tried to find out something very superficial without having to come off or be superficial. But ma'am, I'm smarter than the average dude. I can read between the lines, and I'm very intuitive. And you tried to pull your shit on the wrong guy, right? Now, you got other backups and options, so it's not going to matter, man. But I can definitely tell you one thing. I know she's not watching this, but I'm just saying it. Anyway, I can say one thing, man. I know at least I triggered you. Why? Because I'm right. I got you. I'm the only guy that's called you out on your shit, man. And quite frankly, typically that turns on women. And maybe it did turn you on. But now I'll tell you what happened. So I said, you just showed me your cards in true colors with your SJW response. Please don't speak for me, LOL. I wasn't speaking for you. I was just addressing your concerns, and you don't like the fact that you got called out for being superficial. I don't date superficial women, and you failed my shit test miserably. Let's say that one more time. I wrote to her, I don't date superficial women, and you failed my shit test miserably. Maybe this will teach you a lesson so the next time you encounter a good guy, you won't screw it up. I will pass on getting to know you. And don't bother responding. I have blocked you on my phone and Match as well. Best of luck to you and take care. That's the way you handle a woman like that. That's been validated by thirsty beta males. That, is superficial because of the thirsty beta males and the way she was raised in this, modern world of socialism, right? And all that crap, right? I'm probably the first guy to stand up to this woman and give her a piece of my mind, respectfully, professionally, maturely, of course, right? But she wasn't used to dealing with a guy like me, right? But what she doesn't realize is I'm the guy that would have rocked her world in and out of the bedroom unlike anyone else. I'm the guy that would have taken her on lovely romantic getaway trips, nice hotel rooms, nice hiking trips, nice dinners, nice drives in a decent car, great conversations, right? That's what you lost, man. All because you wanted to put up your SJW social justice warrior dukes and say #MeToo, Eli. It's my way or the highway. You're not going to do that Zoom call so I can see if you're catfishing me or not because, well, I say it's not all about the looks. It is, Eli. Man, if it's not all about the looks, you wouldn't even request a Zoom call. You requested a Zoom call, man, because you wanted to verify that I'm not catfishing you. I don't do virtual digital dates. I don't. It's pathetic. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. So that's what happened there. Now, there's another woman that I've been talking to on Match.com, and we may talk or may not. She showed me some interest. I'm going to go over this story real quick before I go off the air here. So get your questions, comments, and concerns in. We are at 2 hours and 23 minutes. We're probably going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes or so. So this is a 40-year-old woman, right? Now, I found out she was 40, but her profile says 36 years old. And her profile has one name that starts with an S. I'm not going to say it, but there's a point why I'm mentioning this. So she got back to me after I sent her a message. Hi, Eli. You have a very interesting profile. Okay. I said, thank you, ma'am. What do you like about my profile, and are you interested in talking further and getting to know each other? She writes back and says, yes, I understood each and every word you said there, and yes, I'm interested in getting to know you. I'm afraid I have to cut this short. I'm falling asleep, and I need to wake up in 5 hours. These women, these working women nowadays, they go to bed at 8 o'clock, 7:30. But she gets back again and says, nice meeting you, Eli. Looking forward to chat with you and get to know you. I wrote and said, what's your number? And I'll text you tomorrow to arrange our call. Well, she didn't get back to me till this morning. This was last night, and she said, she gave me her number. I was about to actually read her number. That would have been a fatal error. Oh my God, maybe I'm getting tired. Don't do that, man. You got the trolls watching, waiting to just create issues, right? So I sent her a text a few hours after I got her number. Hi, ma'am. It's Eli from Match. It is nice to connect with you on a more personable level. How's your day going? She got back to me 1 minute later. Hi, Eli. My day is going well. How are you? I wrote, my day is also going well, and thanks for asking. You seem very sweet. I am self-employed, and work from home. I'll share more about what I do when we talk by phone if you are open to it. By the way, you seem to have a great positive attitude, and that's very refreshing. Are you available for a phone call to get to know each other better at some point this evening? She's like, sure, what time? I wrote back and I said, what time are you free? And what time do you usually go to sleep on a Friday night? Are you staying in tonight? She goes, today is my son's birthday, so I'm taking him out. I should be home by 9:30. Is that okay with you? This is great communication. She's being feminine, submissive. She's being sweet. She's being a good person, right? I wrote back, absolutely. And happy birthday to your son. How old is he? By the way, what do you do for work? And is it just you and your son living together, or are there other people living with you in your home? I live alone. I always want to know the situation, because that says a lot about the place they're in, the logistics for a relationship, sex, etc. Right? You guys, you gotta. And a lot of women that don't want to respond when you ask that, it's because they know the answer that they give you is not going to satisfy you, so they get upset, which eliminates them anyway, right? So you got to ask that. You got to ask that. She's like, I live with my kids. He's turning 13 today. I'm a production supervisor. We produce, I'm not going to say what she does. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. I wrote, I work from home as a personal and business success / life coach. I'll share more about what I do when we talk by phone. Do you mind if we text throughout the day when possible to continue getting to know each other? No rush in the responses, just when possible. It is nice learning a bit about each other before we talk by phone. You just seem so nice, and it is very refreshing to connect with you. I have, like I said, I use Google Voice, for my YouTube stuff, my online stuff, and talking with these women, right? And the good thing about Google Voice is you can log into Google Voice on the web, and you can text from your laptop, which is much easier and quicker to multitask throughout your day. So that's what I was saying. We can, send a few texts here and there and get to know each other until our phone call later tonight, right? She's like, thank you. I'll try to respond as soon as I can. Just ask away. So I wrote, so this is what I did. I ended up doing a background check on her, as I always do, because there's always a good reason to do so. And I found out on her background check, the city was the same as on her profile, but her name was different and her age was different. Now I'm like, okay, what's she trying to hide? Or does she just not want someone looking into her, right? And the thing is, I don't want to be with somebody lying, right? So, yeah, her name on Match started with an S. Her name on her background report started with a C. And her age on her background report was 39. And her age on Match.com is 36. But now look what she told me. Well, look what I said. I said, so ma'am, part of me getting to know someone involves honesty from the very beginning. This is after I ran her background check, but I didn't tell her. Many women I've talked with in the past have lied about their name and their age. I'm being very specific with what she's lying about, right? None of this bothers me as long as someone is honest. So just to make sure, is your name really, starting with an S, I'm not going to say it, and are you actually 36 years old like your profile states? I'm testing her to see if she's going to be honest with me, right? You don't want to be with a dishonest woman. If she lies about her age and her name, what else is she going to lie about, right? She gets back and says 36 ? I have to double check that. I'm not 36. I wrote, how old are you? And is your name the name that starts with S? She wrote, I'm 40. And yes, my name starts with S. Ma'am, you're lying to me again. You're 39. And your name starts with C. Right? I'm 40 and yes, my name is S, but if you want my whole name, I can tell you it's long. Don't worry. I understand where you're coming from. I'm real and I hate liars. I've been through a lot, and one thing for sure, I don't like BS and dishonesty, and neither do I, ma'am, and you're bullshitting me again. But I still don't think she's a bad person. And again, those background reports could be off. So maybe she is being truthful. But I don't think so. But she's been nice to me, right? But that's not even the point. I'm just mentioning this. Women do this, right? I wrote, I'm not worried at all, and thank you for being very open and honest with me, which, again, I don't think she was being completely honest, but like I said, I got to give her the benefit of the doubt because her saying 40 is much closer to the 39 her background report shows, and the name might be off, right? When you run cell phone records, sometimes they're not completely accurate. So I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because she's been nice, right? I just want to be sure you want something real and are ready for it. Also, what did you think about my profile, the written part, and what did you honestly think about my pictures? I know how important overall attraction is, so I'd like to know your initial thoughts. Look at how honest this woman was with me, right? Believe it or not, I don't go for looks. I don't buy that, ma'am, but I'll probably say you're not as picky as the average woman is nowadays. I think that's a better way to look at it. There has to be some attraction. But I get what you're saying. I respect that. I believe in connection and how I feel when I see you. Absolutely. As for the written part, you're just being straightforward, know what you want and what you expect, and I respect that. But honestly, there's another guy that just messaged me about getting to know me. Thanks for sharing. She lied about her age, says Queen in the chat. Oh, man. Oh, man. But honestly, there's another guy that just messaged me about getting to know me. I can't tell you that I will stop texting him, although I have not seen him yet. I'm not in a rush. I've been single for a long time, and I'm loving it. But if someone could add happiness to that, then I'm willing to try it. So right when she said that to me, listen, a woman is not going to tell a guy that she's interested more in than any other guy she's talking to another guy. She's going to tell that to a guy that she's not as interested in. So to understand, hey, I'm talking to another guy. At the same time, I haven't met him yet. So I appreciate the honesty on that, ma'am. I can respect that. You're much more honest than the last one, right? You're either not superficial or as superficial as the other woman or a typical woman. I respect that. But now you've been communicating with me, and all of a sudden, there's another guy that just messaged you out of the blue that maybe you perceive to be more physically attractive to you. Or there's something, ma'am, that is attracting you to him more than me, right? Or you wouldn't tell me that. So I wrote back to her, I understand and respect your honesty about the other guy in the picture. I know who I am and what I have to offer. So this is where you just go for it because you're probably never going to hear from her again because of the other guy. She's got a lot of lurkers, right? Please also understand this. In this modern dating world, there are going to be a lot of men you're going to be talking with to get to know, and same thing on the flip side. Lots of distractions and always feeling like there's someone better. I get it, but at the same time, it is not about rushing it, but because of how the modern dating world is, you snooze, you lose. It's true. It's true. I'm willing to take that chance and meet you as soon as possible. I had to go for that because, look, if she perceives this guy to be more attractive or she's more interested, right now I'm like, okay, it's all or nothing, right? I have nothing to lose. I'm going to see where I stand, right? The choice is yours, but I can tell you this. There's no other man other there's no other man that will respect you, your family, kids, and treat you good like I would. So I laid down a little thick, but I'm just saying, okay, there's another guy in the picture. She made me aware of it. She probably has a greater interest in him. I'm going to put it out there in a way to where she's either in and she wants to meet tonight, tomorrow, whenever, or it's going to be a ghosting, right? Also, there's no man out there more romantic and affectionate as I am. I am just putting myself out there. Ultimately, it is up to you how you feel and who you give a chance to. Women are either going to feel it or not. And they're either all in or they're not. I sent this to her at 12:57 p.m. after texting with her for a few hours before that. Haven't heard back from her. I doubt I will. What I will respect about her, though, is that she's been honest and upfront about it. Right? She even told me about another guy that messaged her. She didn't need to tell me that. As a matter of fact, she shouldn't have told me that. But, hey, I can respect the fact that she's truthful. But I'll tell you this right now. This is a woman you don't count on. You know, you don't block her because she hasn't been mean or anything and she's not bugging me. But this is the kind of woman that, okay, I put her on backup status. I don't want to put her on backup status. I think she's cute and she seems cool. And I'd go on a date with her and see where it goes. There's an attraction there on my end. But let's see how she feels, right? Maybe she'll reach out to me later tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe never again. But I wanted to read this message here for you folks in comparison to the previous one to show you the difference of how this woman was than the other one. Now, yes, you know, it's just not likely to be a coincidence that she miskeyed her age on Match.com, and then she tells me her age is different than the one on her background report. There are 3 conflicting ages here. There's something there's some kind of a red flag there, right? Hey, Coach, good to see you again. You remember me? Who are you? Sweet meat? Huh. Well, sweet meat, you just joined YouTube today and subscribed to troll me. So you're going to have yourself a great day. How can I remember someone that just created a YouTube account today? I got that one, Queen. Channel name Sweet Meat. Joined July 30th, 2021. I got the go-to channel extension, dude. You got your 1 minute of shame. Queen, out of 100%, how much do you think that was a troll, Queen? Let's wrap up this show on a happy note, laughing at their expense. I'm waiting to hear what Queen says. There's about a 25-second delay between what I say and what goes out to YouTube because I use normal latency for the best quality. But yeah, it's kind of strange that she miskeyed her age on Match. On her background report, it said she's 40 with a different name than her name on Match, and then she tells me a third different age. Queen says 100% that was a troll. I agree. And then they had to wait 20 minutes to subscribe because I require people to be subscribed to me for a minimum of 20 minutes on YouTube before they could chat in my live stream chats. So they went all through that hassle saying, hey, remember me? I've got a brand new YouTube channel or suck account I created today to come and troll you. These people don't get it, Queen. I'll wrap up by saying this. Just, just a side note from this show here. These people don't get it. I don't talk about any of these people anymore, right? They seem to not be able to let me go. Like they need me for their fuel or their content or something, right? You know? And I wasn't going to go public on this, but I'll say it anyway. Like, I for the longest time, I wasn't even filing copyright takedown notices, but, I found ways to better rank through YouTube search, and a lot of my content, when you search Coach Eli or Elias Melas, a lot of my content shows up at the top now, right? And a lot of the, content from the past, the hateful content, people that were abusing my copyright and all that has been removed, right? I had to work hard to remove that. Well, I found there was another channel out there that was re-uploading a bunch of my content for a while. And I said, you know what? I know who it is, actually. I'm not going to give them any notoriety, right? But I said, okay, I'm just gonna file 3 copyrights. So, I was up late last night before I went to bed. I filed 3 copyrights on this channel. This channel literally made all their channel about me. There's like 20 videos of me, right? I flagged 3 of them down. I figured I would take the channel down, right? And then they'd all be gone. So YouTube took the first 3 down. I then filed the 4th copyright. YouTube took that down. The channel still didn't go down. I then filed the 5th copyright. YouTube took the video down. The channel was still up. And then one of the videos this guy re-uploaded or used my content in, I had moved that stream over from the Coach Eli, Elias Melas main channel here on YouTube that I'm on right now to my Coach Eli 2 uncensored live streams. I filed a 6th DMCA copyright takedown earlier this afternoon before I went live. YouTube ended up taking it down, and then they finally shut the channel down for multiple violations of third-party copyright infringement. And so, it's like, I wasn't even going to mention it, but all I'm going to say is this. I'm mentioning it because, like, none of this stuff phases me anymore, right? The dude earlier tonight was live view botting me. I know who it is. It's like I ignore it. It's like I'm just asking you folks, like, why waste your time and your money? If you want to keep on doing it, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I've moved past all of this, right? What thrill are you folks getting off of, doing this stuff? And what is it about me? I was going to say hate so much, but love so much. I mean, people I don't like, I don't put any effort into them. Like, I move on. I'm like, get good riddance, right? But what is it about me that you guys love so much, right? You don't need to respond. I don't pay attention to any other content anymore from these other people, right? Just ask yourself internally, what is it? What thrill does it give you? That's all. All right, folks. I'm going to get on out of here. I got some things to do and some possible phone calls to make. We are at 2 hours and 44 minutes. I want to thank you all for being here. Queen Helen Casey, thank you for being here as always. Thank you to Critical Mass Vlog for being here earlier. And thank you to Holly Hopeful and Blessed for being here earlier. She had to go to bed. She was tired. Folks, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be on tomorrow or, this weekend. I may end up going hiking tomorrow, possibly. If you don't get any content from me tomorrow, Saturday, more than likely I'll be back Sunday unless something amazing happens and I'm gone for the weekend. You never know. I'm just letting you folks know. It's 50-50 right now. So, keep it locked here on the Coach Eli Elias Melas YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook, you can keep it locked there too. I do simulcast over to Facebook, and the replays stay up on Facebook. If you are on D Live, you're going to want to come and subscribe to me on YouTube, so that way you can get my community postings and keep in touch with me in other ways. DLive, great platform, great quality live streaming, but that's all it is. It's live streaming. Even if you allow to have a replay run on DLive, it's only up for 3 days and it gets deleted. So, if you folks want more of Coach Eli, come over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Life Coach Eli, or just type in Coach Eli, Elias Melas in the YouTube search bar, and you'll see my channel with over 4K subs there. With that being said, have yourselves a great one. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.